And I began to read because my old man only went to fourth grade.
Wow.
And I decided.
You're pretty dapper, by the way.
Hmm?
You're pretty dapper.
Well, that's only when we mentor. When
Okay.
I'm not mentoring, you might see me walking past it sometimes carrying my little lunch. 'Cause
Okay.
I cook 90% of the time.
Really?
Every now and then I'll buy something, just order the lunch because I ain't got time to cook. I'm hungry.
I know that's right. I might order me a lunch
But
too.
you name him, Samuel L. Jackson. I did his wedding.
What? Now, what is your name?
Tom Dorsey.
You're Tom Dorsey?
Yeah.
Okay. And now, are you from Atlanta?
I grew up on the west side of Chicago.
Oh, yeah, you said that. In my...
But I've been here since 1977. My family moved here in 77.
Okay. Because, see, I went to Southwest High School,
Okay.
which is now Gene Charles Young.
Okay, now watch this.
Uh-huh.
Our past mayor of the city, I photographed her when she graduated from Douglas. And watch. And then I used something that,
Keisha Lance Bottoms.
yeah. Oh man, like I say, I've got that odd background.
Uh-huh.
Keisha Lance Bottoms' father.
Lance! Look, what's that name right there?
That's it.
You see that?
I'm gonna blow your mind.
What?
I have a platinum record.
What?
Yes. See, I was known for music in the early 60s. I'm still getting royalties from about 35 songs that I put together. And
So you have some publishing rights and stuff.
yeah.
What
I got a recording contract. See, I'm saying all of this. The guy who did Monkey Time, he arranged Monkey Time. His name was Johnny Pate. Johnny Pate became known in Chicago because he arranged that. And he's responsible for me getting my contract with ABC at that time.
What? What year was that?
We got our contract 1961, I guess, somewhere in there.
Wow.
And the only reason that I didn't stay
Oh
in
my
music
gosh.
is because when we had 2 kids, my wife and I, she decided she didn't want to be in that business anymore because it was too much
Yes.
garbage.
I
behind the
understand.
scenes.
I understand.
Payola,
I understand.
people lying and stealing and cheating. She said, if we stay in that business, it's going to mess our family up. And she and I had our most serious disagreement because I'm thinking money. But at a point, I realized that she was right, and we severed formal relationships with the music industry. I still got my rights for all my songs in my publishing company, but no more music. I didn't deal with that anymore. And I worked until my mid-30s in the post office of Chicago. And that's when I decided to go back and get a degree in photography. I really went to get a degree in painting because that's what I did as a kid to stay out of trouble.
Wow.
And I got really good at coordinating, you know. And so at that point, my wife said, if that's what you want to do, and she supported me. She went and got a full-time job. And I went to school full-time to get a degree in painting and never took a painting course. Intro courses, there was one you had to take, everybody took the first year, and it introduced me to not carpentry, but sculpture, weaving, pottery, and photography. And that's what caught my attention. That's what I want to do. And I began to develop my own techniques and experimenting. I became an A student. This C student
Wow.
in elementary school and high school in Chicago. I became an A student.
Wow.
Doing what we do in our mentoring program.
Now, just tell me what you're doing about the mentoring program.
Well, we don't do it like anybody else. Back in when we started, 2007, I think it was, at West End Academy. 4 years. The first year, I didn't call it mentoring. I didn't even know the word then. I backed into what God led me to do. And it was to help our young boys who were confused, who were dropping out of school, getting into crime and trouble. And, okay, I backed into it, and because of somebody that I photographed the family of, the lady of the house was one of the administrators there.
What?
Yeah, now this is how God works. You can't figure, there's no way to plan these things.
This is right.
You just have to be responsive.
Yes.
Okay.
I received that.
Well, she asked me if I would come and talk to the students at West End about business. And they had about 4 or 5 other business owners. I said, well, I don't do that anymore. Well, she said, I know. She said, but you were good at that when you were in business, because we retired in '03. Well, this was '07 when she's asking me to do this. So I said, okay, well, I know how to do it, because we did it in, going back. We used to volunteer turkeys and stuff to the schools, and my wife and I, we did everything the way we were supposed to do it. But anyway, so I went in on career day with the other business people to talk to the kids about encouraging them to consider going into business. And I had my coffee and donuts like everybody else, and I left. I'm through with that. The next day, she called me up. She said, Mr. Dorsey, say some of these boys who heard some of the stuff that you had to say, they have some questions for you. Is it possible for you to come back next week and just answer their questions? And that's how I got started. I said, well, yeah, that shouldn't take long. So I went back in that next week during that time, and the boys raised a hand, and every time I would respond to a question, 2 or 3 other hands would go up. Turned out that they were not used to an adult black male talking to them the way that I was talking to them.
Oh my!
And we didn't finish. I didn't finish answering all the questions, and when the period was over, I asked if I could come back next week.
Whoa!
And I'm thinking that that's it.
Right.
It turned into 4 years.
Woo! Look at God.
That's how God works. Now watch. AJC did a write-up on what I was doing over there at the school, and we just called it two-way conversations. That's where we... Next thing I knew, one of my old friends, he called me up. He was retiring from the Cobb County school system. He was with me today. We two mentored over.
What's his name?
Richard Morton.
Okay. I used to work at the Cobb. Go on.
Well, he was a social worker.
Okay.
32 years, I think, 27 years is how long it was. Anyway, he read the article, and, he nor I had any idea that this was going to go on, but he said, man, that sounds so interesting, because, that relates to what he was doing. He said, do you mind if I just come in and sit?
Really?
Yeah, he just wanted to sit in. He got nosy,
Now you got 2 black men.
Watch this. He came in, and next thing I know, he was raising his hand, and he got involved. And next thing I know, he stayed with me for the first 7 years. He just came back this year, but anyway.
Now, again, how long you been doing this mentoring program?
06.
06.
15 years.
15. Look at it. Wow.
We thought we were going to make
Now, what school you go to different schools?
Well,
Oh.
at a point, we did. We did 4 years at West End under communities and schools. And they asked if we would also...
What is community in schools? What is that? Community in schools?
That's a national organization.
Okay.
And they own West End Academy.
Oh.
See, they're one of them private school things for public.
Got you. I understand. Got you.
And they would give us everything we wanted up there.
Wow.
And, some of the boys they were interested in music. So I said, okay. So I'd call up whatever the most popular, what do you call it, where you record your stuff, studio, and ask if it's possible for a group of boys to come by. They're interested, they want to, oh yes, invite you in. Well, communities in school would get a van, hire a van and a driver and take us. Whatever we needed, they would just say,
Nice.
yes, you got it. Do it. Do it.
Provided all the resources. They made the lift lighter.
And that 4th year, they asked us to also mentor at King Middle.
Really?
Yeah, 8th graders. See, because West End, those are 12th graders. Those are kids that are having difficulty in high school, and you're to help them to go ahead.
So you're
graduate.
mentoring 12th grade?
West End Academy is a 12th grade school.
Wow.
This is an alternative 12th grade. These are the kids who are having difficulty.
Oh, that's like
ALMG.
open campus or something like that. They used to have in Decatur. Yes, I got you. No Two
Anyway,
Hills. Yes.
So
Wow.
we went over to and said, "Ooh, you can't talk."
I remember the school down there at West End. Yes.
That's where
Yes.
they used to have it. Right
Yes.
across the street from Kroger.
Yes.
Well, it's something else now, but at any rate, you can't talk to an 8th grader the way you talk to a 12th grader. See?
How so?
So we had to research.
Uh-huh.
I did my usual thing. See, I'm a research freak. So I went out and dealt with some other 8th grade mentoring situations to see how they do what they do, and something came out that I don't hear anybody talking about now. And that is your last chance to help a male boy. Really, it's has nothing to do with the color of his skin. This is by nature. When his hormones kick in, if he's got problems and he doesn't have a responsible male in his life, that's the end of it. This boy goes bananas by nature because he doesn't understand what his body is going through at that time. And that's when they start doing dumb stuff by nature. So we decided that's where we should be. So we reached out, and Atlanta had just come up with this other school. You ever hear of Best Academy?
Vaguely. Vaguely.
It's an all-male middle and high school.
Oh, no, I haven't heard of it then. No.
One building. And man, they tore down, I forget the name of it, school, built a brand new campus and everything. Best Academy. And man, we called up and interviewed with the principal that was going to be going in, told him what we were doing, and we'd love to mentor, work with your school. And you got it. I still got my signed agreement. We went over there, man, and we were jamming.
You just gave me a gift.
That
Just gave me a
second
gift.
year is when we decided to wear the uniform.
Right.
But before then, I'm just I wear my khakis and sweat. I'm normal.
Right.
It's what we talk about. It's what it was about. And because the boys over at Best, all of them had to wear a uniform. And we found that they didn't like wearing uniforms because they wanted to wear it fashion. And even though you tell them why, they still, I would rather. So by this time, we got a small group of guys. 2 of us with a team of 8 boys is what it finally got down to. And you might have several teams, but the teams stay together for the school year.
Really?
That's how we operate, yeah. Well, at any rate, that second year we decided we would wear the uniform so that we would be one of the boys.
Yeah.
And man, it changed everything.
At 82, Mentor still puts youth on path of success. Wow. Wow.
See, and this is a painting of my 2 kids.
Really?
Yeah.
Continue. I'm listening. I'm just in awe.
Where was I?
You in 4-2 groups. You send them out, and that's what you do for the whole year. Best.
You're right. Okay. See, the reason I have a memory issue, God again, in 6th grade, I was knocked out by half of a brick that
Wow.
was thrown across the street at somebody else while I'm shooting marbles after school. with
In
my
Chicago.
buddy. I should have been home. But man, I couldn't turn loose.
In Chicago.
Yeah. And man, next thing I know, I'm waking up with this splitting headache and blood all over the place. And the guy was shooting marbles, but he picked up a half a brick and he told me what happened. And he said the guy threw it at the other guy that was running past us and he missed it. That was God again, preparing me for what I'm doing now. I wasn't thinking that then. I'm cussing then. Why me? It made me look bad with my bros, you know. I'm 12 years of age, you know.
Yes.
And I forget stuff.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So I started doing, which is the core
Uh-huh.
of our mentoring program.
Uh-huh. Wow.
But I'm not thinking mentoring program.
Uh-huh.
And what I do is that I use my mind, because I couldn't depend on my memory.
Uh-huh.
I would research.
Uh-huh.
I would read. I would shake a hand. I want to know more about something that got my attention
Uh-huh.
so that I could better
Uh-huh.
understand it.
Uh-huh.
And if I understood it, then I could deal with it successfully. That's how I was looking at it.
Yes.
See, and I ain't thinking about no future or nothing, no success and all that. My mind is just dealing with me and the guys in the neighborhood so I won't look like an asshole. I'm talking straight to you.
Yes, sir. I receive it.
And that's why, you know, I had nobody to talk to back in the 40s about what I was going through. My old man only went to 4th grade. You know, we grew up on the west side poor. And so the day I turned 17, I knew the law. I told them to sign me into the Air Force just to get me out of there.
Wow.
That's what saved my life.
Wow.
And it prepared me. I started reading then, about 2 years into the military, and then I realized that is my savior. That's what I need to do. I'm going to get me a degree. I'm going to do my GED when I get out of here and get me a degree in psychology so I can help people who are having issues that I'm having. That's what I did. That's where I met my wife. I became an A student, typical
What?
C student up until, doing what I just told you. Because whatever my subjects were, anything that was mentioned that relates to the main, I want to know more about this. How does this affect it? I'm doing my thing. Okay. And all my tests, the ACEs, that's easy once you understand it. And that's what we put on the boys. That you want information or knowledge from the street, from school, from life. You want to research it. You want to know more about anything that gets your attention, whether it's a positive or negative, so you can better deal with it to be respected and to be successful. That's the bottom line. And that's what we do.
Wow.
Now, back to you mentioned friendship.
Yes, sir.
Guess who painted the Dr. Will and the pastor before him? Me.
Whoa. That's beautiful.
And I'm going to blow your mind even further. The guy whose book that I read in 2006 was a guy who opened my head up about what God wanted me to do, and that was to help our children. I just didn't know how to do it. And the guy's name was Dr. Franklin. Wait a minute. And one day I'm doing my usual thing, reading the newspaper, because I want to know what's going on. And so I've been reading Atlanta newspaper, man, since 1977. And they do this every session. They talk about some books, but this one book caught my attention. It seemed like this is talking to me based on what it said. So I went and bought the book, and man, I read that book and it just opened my head up. This is it. This is it. The guy who wrote the book was Dr. Franklin. I didn't know him.
Oh.
He was working over there. I called him up, introduced myself. I ain't nobody.
Right.
But we started talking about that book.
Right.
The dynamics of that book. And
What's the name of the book?
Writing that book. No, you should see all the stuff he wrote for me when I when we met, because we became buddies. Wow. This is before he became president of Morehouse. And within 6 months, he got that job.
Wow.
And that was the reason why, when he finally retired from that, he elected me to do the official oil painting that's hanging over in the King Chapel.
Wait, whoa.
Check it out. It's got the same little Dorsey at the bottom.
The official portrait at the King Chapel.
Yeah, Dr. Frank.
Wow, let me see this one more time. You did. Wow. I just thank you for this moment right now in time. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to mess it up. This is so beautiful. Look at this.
And I got to get out of here because my food is getting cold.
Oh, brother. Please come back. Please come back. Please come back.